Hey Art, I see you're there before I was. How you doing?
I'm an early bird. It's the way I roll. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We
Cool.
um should see everybody come in right at 9 or so. Although Dan is here. Hi Dan. So,
Dan was here first, actually.
oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, he got the worm.
I saw there was a few people that kind of went in and went out through the day because I get notification on my email or whatever there.
I
So
love that part of Zoom. It's sneaky.
yeah, no, it works. Like I said, we had the first time we went with another platform and all that, and I kind of realized, well, why not just use Zoom? It's the one that everybody's most familiar with.
It is. It's great. I mean, I've used Google Meets, and when I meet with Google, they use Google Meets too. But it's the cool, like the background, like that's just that itself sells me. It's like you can just do so much more stuff with it. They don't even have blur yet on Google Meets unless you're a Google employee. Then you have that special beta like plugin or something like that. Maybe some other people have it. I don't know, but I try to do it. It wasn't that great. But they've got their own special internal tools they like to use and not give us common folk the fun stuff.
Yeah. No, like I said, I've always liked them. Even with my photo booths when I was doing them, I always loved green screens. So when I right now when I started doing these meetings on Zoom, I just automatically I literally got a green sheet in behind me. It's been there now for the last couple of months, just permanently.
I'm not even using the green sheet behind me. This is like, that's how fantastic Zoom is. It's like the bomb.
Yeah, occasionally I'll go, like if I'm just talking to somebody on like just casually or whatever, I'll go to my chair and it's a brown background and it turns into a green screen sort of anyway. So it's
Yeah. Oh, we got some people signing on. This is awesome.
oh, everybody's getting in early here. So
Yeah, it's really cool just to see the people, everybody kind of joining on this. I mean, last year, was my first photo booth expo. And I mean, some of the sessions I've seen before because I also went to the wedding MBA 2 years prior, and it was like the same presentation. So I was like, oh, okay. And it's still good stuff if you've seen it the first time. And I'm so thankful that like I've been able to go to these conferences and even on the Facebook groups, learning, because everybody started off with nothing, and I picked up a lot of information to start my business from everybody, probably in these groups, right? And also from the Photo Booth Expo. So I'm just glad that I can pay it forward and help some people out as best as I can.
yeah, well, I can't wait till my plan was originally I was going to start traveling and doing all the shows again 1 month after I got my second vaccine. And we're kind of slow in Canada. I got the first one on April the 12th, and originally they told us because we have a shortage in Canada, you're only eligible for your second one 4 months after the first one, even though it's supposed to be a month.
Yeah.
But, so originally they said I was going to be vaccinated at the beginning of August, permanent, like the second vaccine, fully vaccinated.
Right.
And fortunately, now there's a lot of supply flowing into Canada, so they've upped up. So my second vaccine is actually June the 22nd, so 6 days from now.
That's great.
And
That's
it's like
awesome.
I would have had it earlier, but the first day, because of where I live, the first day I was eligible to get it was this past Monday. So it was literally, I was on the website like at 8 o'clock. I was eligible at 8 o'clock on Monday, and I was literally in the website at 7:30 in the morning. And there was something like 40,000 people on the website at the same time. So I had to wait 45 minutes just to get on the website. And so finally I got an appointment for June the 22nd. But it's just a good feeling, when you're vaccinated and everybody wants to travel, and
it does.
And obviously the vaccines work and everything. So it's
yeah,
for the most part.
I feel pretty good, being able to do what I do now because I got that done. Is what it is. So if you want it, you get it. If you don't, that's fine. but if you need it for travel, then at least my brother didn't want to get it. Now he's got to figure out a way to drive from Texas to Pennsylvania from wedding. I'm like, I can't help you out, man. It's not my rules. So
it looks like the borders finally between Canada and the US, there's serious talks that sometime in July they're looking at opening or starting to open up the border for people that have been fully vaccinated and everything. So.
That's cool. I actually want to go up there. I mean, the pictures of your recent trip to Niagara Falls, I've never been to Niagara Falls. And I always thought you just go there and you watch water, but then you show me like the carnival stuff and like the rides and that looks like a lot of fun. I gotta go.
Oh no, it's the funny part was last summer, I don't think they did that bad because the border was closed and people from Toronto didn't have any, people that usually go to the States and whatever, didn't have anywhere to go. It's like Niagara Falls is as far south as they could go. So they were actually, it was pretty busy last summer from Canadians. But these past couple of lockdowns back in January and all that, it just got really quiet and everybody's kind of itching to get back to normal again. So I think that's everybody's goal, try to forget the last year and let's move on, So.
Yeah. So when we start, I guess, I've got a PowerPoint presentation. I guess I'm just going to share my screen and just roll off of that. Just whatever's on my screen, what everybody can see. Is that correct? Is that how you did that last time?
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to make sure I bring you to the front of the screen here.
Okay.
Where are we?
I don't care about my face so much. I just want people to be able to see the information that I got. And it's not, the presentation that I made isn't a ton of bullet points, right? Because I don't want people to sit there and read and have to take notes. It's more thinking about organically how you should do it. And there's just a handful of simple things that anybody really can do for the most part. And some might be a little bit more technical and they need a little bit of help, but it really should be something that you can Google to figure out how to do. And I'll walk through that a little bit during my presentation. But if you want to wait, we'll wait till like 9 o'clock or so to get started, right?
Oh yeah, it's still 8 minutes to 8 minutes to go. So I think we have a few people here just because I did last time I didn't make an announcement. There were literally like people had signed up, like 200 something had signed up, but then a lot of people forgot about it between then and so today I did another post early in the morning and then I just did one 15 minutes ago. So that's okay. People are more if it starts in 15 minutes or more apt to go to it, then it's like, okay, it's going to start in a week and a half, put it in the calendar and stuff like that. So I saw that come through and saw your email come through. So thank you for the reminders. Always helpful. I know it's been a crazy day for me. I've been on the phone with clients all day, running reports all day, and I was like, oh, I got to call it. I got this presentation, so I was like scrambling, finishing up the little bits of the presentation, making sure it wasn't too much information, but also not boring. I mean, it'd probably be a little bit boring for some people, but just fun, a little bit of fun. Yeah, no, it's been a busy day here too. It's actually nice. Long conversations with a couple of exhibitors that are looking at either expanding their spaces or getting back in and all of that. And you were telling me it's like record number of people or just how fast it's filling up. Oh, I mean, for 8 months before the show, we're way ahead of any numbers we ever had pre-pandemic. I can tell you that. So it's I mean, part of it is 2 years worth of, because we couldn't run the show this past February. There's a pent up demand and all that, and all the people that forwarded their tickets over and things like that. But no, like I said, I can't wait. Like I'm probably going to go to Wedding MBA in November. I'm actually thinking of I'll probably drive down to Vegas twice, once at the end of October for Wedding MBA and just deal with business in Vegas for about 3 weeks, and then come back beginning of December, spend December here for Christmas, and then I'll probably drive down again like I did last year at the beginning of January for CES and some of the other shows that I go to down there. And then I might or might not fly back. I actually last year, I left my car for the first 2 weeks of February, flew back to Buffalo, and then flew back to Vegas from Toronto in the middle, like a week and something before Photo Booth Expo. So it's okay. What do we? Okay, now everybody's starting to come in there.
We got a
Hey,
lot.
Art.
Hey.
Hey, man. I was gonna say your DJ setup is awesome, dude. I love that. I can't wait. Danny Max is he's an awesome guy. I can't wait to get mine. I'm about to order mine. I'm waiting on I ordered some Rain 12 MK2 12s and that whole setup, and I'm waiting for those to come in, and then I'm gonna order my new setup. So I'm excited, dude. I love yours. It looks so good, man.
Thank you. I'm lucky to have it. I mean, I think there's like maybe 25 or so people out there that have it, maybe a little bit more. Not the cheapest thing out there, but it has changed. It's changed the way that I practice, most importantly, because I have it set up in my garage, and every time I walk by it, I just feel like getting on it and practicing. And I took it for my first event 2 weeks ago, and it's just the setup time is so quick, and we had, you know, the coolest part is you walk up with your equipment and you see like the person setting up the usual banquet table. I'm like, I won't need that. They're like, what? And then you set it up and I'm like, what is that thing? And then people are taking pictures with it. It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So it's quick, it's easy, it's beautiful.
It just looks clean, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. But again, the looks great, but just that extra bonus, just that inspiration to practice, because it's giving me that extra table space to touch all the controls that I like without having to lean over or have my hand resting on some kind of like metallic shelf or the shelf covering part of the knobs on my controller. So it's life-changing for me. I'm sitting like practicing 2-3 hours a night, except for tonight because I'm going to be talking to you guys.
So right now I'm going to spotlight you. So hopefully that works well here.
Cool.
There we go.
I'll try not to look at myself too much. That's the one thing about Zoom. You're always like focusing in. So
we
looks good.
Looks like a couple of minutes to go. And people are coming in at a feverish pace now. So that is good.
That's great. Because this is, I mean, I hope you guys get something out of this. Because it's just, I want to give back. So everybody just take notes, and you can put my email out there. And I think, Rob, if this goes well, I mean, I'd be more than happy to speak in Vegas to PBX too, right? So
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're going to take advantage of all your valuable information there. Well, we'll talk in tomorrow or
yeah. After I send everyone.
This is being recorded, so we might I've been slow in getting some of the previous recordings up, but we'll see if we can get this up to everybody that ended up missing the meeting tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full screen, I think. Bear with me, guys, because like I do lots of Zoom, but I fiddle around with it all the time, and sometimes I need to like minimize things and hit the escape key and stuff like that. But I'm pretty confident this will go as smooth as I like it to. Let me just practice minimizing. Yep, that works. Perfect. Good. Okay, cool.
Okay, so we have exactly 1 minute to go now, and then I'll do the official welcome there. And let's see what view here we have. Gallery view. Okay, so we got a nice. We have more people in, way more people in at the beginning than we had the first time around. I think the last minute reminders helped and everything. But,
it is. Absolutely helps.
Okay, well, I see it's just a few seconds to go. So let's be very punctual. And if everybody can do a virtual round of applause for Art Armani, I will pass the screen over to you.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, glad to be here. If you were on earlier, I'm really honored to share my knowledge with all of you tonight. I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Damn you, Rob. I can't share my screen. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
How do I get that? Okay, I have you. Should I pin you? That I'll make you the host. How about that? That should
Okay.
hopefully.
Rob, you can just click on his profile, and one of the things should be to allow screen share from selected people, and you can give him screen share rights.
Teamwork.
Well, that's where I'm looking here. It said chat, stop video, pin, remove. So I've made him the spotlight. Make host, rename, allow to record local files, allow to multi-pin, put in waiting room, remove, report. That's last. I think if I make you the host, that should allow you to do it. So.
Okay.
Same is true if you make him a presenter, which if you make someone a presenter, that should also do it, but maybe
There we
they've changed
go.
the settings.
I love it. All right. So
Okay, you're now the host, and let's hopefully now you can share your screen, right?
yeah, I'm just going to share my whole screen. We're going to get crazy. And we're going to minimize that down. Okay. So my name's Art Armani, and the whole point that I'm here is really to give back to everybody in the photo booth industry. And some of you are in maybe some other industries too that you haven't bought a photo booth yet. You might be just DJ thinking about photo booth or photographer, whatever. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today is really applicable to almost any local business. I mean, let me just go to the screen sharing from the beginning so you can see here. All right, so first thing is, who am I, right? Who is this guy? I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I jumped on the bandwagon in November, and we purchased a puppy to get through the pandemic, because you can't have one without, to get through the pandemic. I'm also a DJ, I'm a musician, I'm a photo booth owner. So a lot of different things, but more importantly, I'm also an experienced online marketer. Been doing this since 1998. Looking back in time, in 1998, Michael Jordan won a championship, actually his second or third, who knows, he's got a billion of them. Bill Clinton was president. Gas was about $1. That 70s show debuted, and the Titanic won an Oscar for Best Picture. But it's also a very important year because Google was founded, right? So that's when I started doing online marketing, so was Google was just starting as well. So a lot of you have a business, and hopefully understand that it's not just the money's not going to just come to you. You spend a lot of time figuring out what type of business you want to run, what kind of, and we'll talk about photo booths here, what kind of photo booth that you want to buy, whether it's iPad, whether it's DSLR, what kind of backdrops, what kind of props, extra accent lighting, the whole 9 yards. You spend all this time, and if you haven't run a business before, you think you've got it, and you're sitting there, you're looking at your equipment, you're like, come on, money, right? And I stole this from one of the posts in one of the Facebook groups, and I thought it was so appropriate, because a lot of business owners, and I see other posts out there, say, okay, this is great, I got my equipment, but how do I get business, right? And it just doesn't come to you. You have to kind of have that as part of your business plan. Everybody talks about business plan, and one of the core parts of any business plan, even if it's just a scrap of paper or written on a napkin, marketing always has to be part of that. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is one component specifically of marketing that needs to be in everybody's toolbox. And that is maybe one of these things, right? Which, word of mouth, it's definitely going to get you started. Making relationships with other vendors that can send you business by telling their brides, their grooms, their sweet 16s, whoever's renting out their venue, other florists, they can send you business. And of course, the all famous free exposure events, right? So we've got this charity event, and you're going to get all this exposure. Well, all these actually do work if you manage them correctly, but that's not the end all be all. These relationships may sour. Some people may forget about you. These free events, you maybe get one or two leads out of it, but they're not always going to be continuously bringing you business, because there's such a wider audience out there than these small word of mouth, vendor referral, and free exposure avenues. The biggest one is online. So that's what we're going to talk about. And there's two different areas of online that you can get business from. So a lot of people say, well, I don't need a website because I get all of my leads off of Instagram, or I do Pinterest, or I tweet, or I do Facebook. And that's great. But at some point, the algorithms change on those avenues, and you're limiting yourself. There's only so much amount of traffic on those avenues. And really, they're not like search. If you take a look at the screen that I'm showing you here, there's a clear-cut difference between a search engine versus social media, right? So social media, people aren't particularly actively going on there to search for a business. You'll find some people who go into the local, township community Facebook groups and say, I'm looking for a DJ, I'm looking for a photo booth, can somebody recommend? And you can get some business off of that. And if that's enough for you, that's great. But eventually there's going to be a lull there and you're going to need to fill in your dates. The search engines are a different beast. These are people, the whole point of a search engine is people looking for a specific service. There's an intent, there's a definite need that they have, they're ready to buy. So take Google, take Microsoft, take Yahoo, take the other search engines. Seriously, DuckDuckGo is another one that's coming up. You have to rank on there for a long-term sustainability for your business, for your marketing initiatives. But don't discount the social media. You really want to do everything. But we're going to talk about the right side of the screen, the Google, the Microsoft, Yahoo, but more importantly, the Google. So why Google, right? So why do I focus most of my efforts on Google? Well, you take a look at the traffic. So this is December 2020. The number of monthly visits in billions. Google is on top. 66.52 billion visitors are going to Google. And that's not just looking for cats, looking for a recipe. It's looking for everything, right? To watch a video. They're going here because they have a problem. They have a question that needs to be answered. They need a solution. They're ready to buy. They are ready to spend money. YouTube, 20.42 billion. That's a lot of people watching, how to cook something, or funny videos, or FGTV, or the video of the latest hit song that just came out, or in some instances in the DJ industry, they're going to scrape songs. I'm not going to talk about that. And then there's Facebook, which is purely social, people looking at pictures, sharing stories, getting political. And then the factual wikipedia.org at the bottom, and that's really just looking for facts, right? So google.com, that is the crux of where the traffic is that's ready to buy. Google is the answer engine, as I mentioned before. People have a question, people have a problem, they need a solution, they type in what they're looking for. And so I'm going to be walking through something that's called a keyword. And the keyword is what somebody types into this box here that you see on the screen that will bring up results that should answer their question. So this is a search query or a keyword. That is the question. And there's really three parts to this journey of them finding a business. The question is the first part, then the promise of an answer. So that's when Google says, oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you need. Here's a bunch of stuff that might answer your question, that might help you out to solve your problem. And so they put all these results on the screen, and now it's up to you to sift through these results that they presented, which are supposed to be the closest relative results to help you solve your problem on the screen. As you can see, I have also continued at the very top left there, the search query that I put into the search box. Now, why did I put Philadelphia? It's because I'm located near Philadelphia, so it was top of my mind. So photo booth rental Philadelphia, the top results on this particular page showed me some business locations for businesses, which is called the Google Maps or the Map Pack. And then below that are some frequently asked questions, and then the organic. Now, anywhere you land on the first page is good, because people will click on different parts of the pages. People trust different parts of the page. So anywhere you can get on there is a good way. So this is the promise of an answer. So once the user has selected what they think is the promise of their answer, they come to a website, which is the end. That's the point. That's the bringing the horse to the water. Now you've got to make them drink. That's a whole different story, but you've got them here. You've identified that you had a question. Google gave you the promise of an answer to the question, and that website hopefully is the right answer. Not all the time. So that's where you may have to hit that back button and go find another result. So Google, there are many sections. It can be confusing. So I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of the anatomy of Google, just for those who don't understand the different components of the page and how you get there. the very top, in most instances, right here, I'm going to kind of highlight, or not, but put my mouse pointer, is called the paid ad section. This is where you actually pay for every click, not just an impression. Impression is when your result shows. You can show as many times, but you only pay if somebody clicks on your ad. And if done incorrectly, you can go through a lot of money. And once you spend your budget, you no longer show at the top. The next section below that is what's called Google My Business, or the Map Pack. And this section is, for the most part, free. You can pay to play to get there in there a little bit, but for the most part, it's free. But that takes a lot of elbow grease and working out and a little bit of time to rank in that section. But again, that doesn't cost anything, but it's a little bit slower than the top. The next section to the right, if you take a look, is the organic, and that's being pushed down further and further. Not to say that's not important, but it's further down the page, and people have a less of an opportunity to click that because they see things at the top. They're going to click to the first result on the top. They're going to click the one in the middle, and by the time they've gotten down to the further on the page, there's less traffic that comes in. So you want to rank as high as possible on the page, which is why paid ads are so popular. But again, you run out of money. The Map Pack is second, and organic is third. So any way that you look at your business plan and online marketing, paid ads are good, only if done, properly and ran properly. The Google My Business and the Map Pack is probably one of the biggest traffic and lead generators for me. But Google Organic is not to be denied. It's very powerful in itself. So you've got a website. Here's this image again. So I got a website. Come on, do money. Well, just having a website alone won't bring you business. You have to get people to that website. If just existing is not going to do the job for you guys. So you have to start thinking about, well, what do I do? Well, there are no guarantees with SEO, but there are fundamental steps you can take on your website, which I'm going to give you a few handy little things that you can do. You can take home tonight and probably implement almost all of them within 24 to 48 hours, if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, find somebody who's a little savvy and they'll help you out. But where do I start? So there's something called Google Search Console, and this is so important that you hook your website up with Google Search Console, because basically what it's saying is, hey, Google, I have a website, look at me. Make sure you don't forget about me when people have questions, so that you can maybe put me on the potential answer list so people can land on my website and I can give them the right answer, right? So, and Rob, I don't know if you want me to share this this PowerPoint presentation after. I'm more than happy to. I can put this link in the chat box, but this is the website address that you're going to go to. So let me just see if I can copy this here. Let's go to the website. Let me ask. Yeah, there we go. Which is right here. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. So everybody, you're going to want to go to this and just make sure that your website is hooked up with Google Search Console. And I'm going to go right back to the PowerPoint presentation, which is over here. Right, and go back over here. Okay. So you're going to visit that page, you're going to enter your website address, and you have to verify that through your website host. It's a real simple process. Now, I have a website that I haven't done this with yet. So I'm going to do this live for you guys right now and show you pretty how simple it is. My website is hosted through GoDaddy, which most people have their websites hosted through. There's a couple others out there, but you're going to need to log in to your website host first. So if you bought your domain through GoDaddy, that's great. Log into your GoDaddy account, make sure that's ready. Visit this link and then watch the steps that show up here. So let me get out of here. I have a new website that I signed up called bucksdigital.com. I've already gone to GoDaddy and made sure I'm logged in. Hit continue. It's checking my verification. It knows that I'm on GoDaddy. I'm going to start the verification process. It's going to GoDaddy now. It's redirecting. I'm going to click connect. And fingers crossed, it failed. So we're going to have to figure out how to go in and do that later. But you wanted to make sure you go through this process. I'm laughing right now because that should have worked. Maybe I didn't log in properly. But when you do log in, let me show you through another .com. Let's go out of here. Might have been because I was signing up with the wrong email address. Console. When you do get it hooked up, you'll actually see you should see your domains here. There it is, ArmaniDJs.com. You'll see data on your website that shows the traffic, keywords, all that kind of stuff in here. And eventually over time, you're going to want to see an increase in traffic, right? So I've successfully hooked this up. I'll probably have to redo this at some point for the other domain, but I feel bad that I can't show you exactly how to do that because I'm not going to waste everybody's time. We only have an hour. So anyway, let's go back here. So after you've hooked into Google Search Console, then you have to figure out, well, we need to know what's going to bring the most relevant traffic to my site. What is the most relative keyword that people are going to type in that is going to bring me the most relevant traffic? So you have to start thinking about what service are you selling, right? So write these down on a piece of paper, grab a napkin, grab a piece of paper. In my case, it was photo booth rental, right? And some people maybe just be doing roaming photo booths. Some people may just be doing 360 photo booth rentals, but whatever that is, define what that service is that you want to hone in on. And that's going to be the first part of your keyword. The next is the city, the town, the state, the zip code, the county. I would prefer to go with a city or town because that's logically what people type in. They usually type in a service and the city that they're looking to get the service from or the service that they're located in. That's where the good relative traffic comes in. You put those together and you have yourself a search keyword. So I did one here for Dallas just to see what, for demonstration purpose. I did photo booth rental, Dallas, Texas, right? So we've defined a keyword and now we want to rank for that keyword. What do we do on our website? Well, there's something called a title tag. What's a title tag, Art? Well, let's see here, my mouse to work. The title tag is essentially what your page is about. It's the name of every page on your site. And it's the first thing that Google sees that starts to rank your website. It's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System. For those who used to go to the library and have to look up books using the Dewey Decimal System, first you start out with the name, and then they would give you a number to go look where the book is. Photo booth rental, Dallas, Texas was my keyword. And if you look at this website, that is part of their title tag, which is right over here. Photo booth rental Dallas. And this is what showed up in Google, photo booth rental Dallas. So let's go to Google and we're going to type that in, photo booth rental Dallas, Texas. Now this title tag is probably one of the most important components of your website that Google uses to rank. Every page in your website should not have the same title tag. You should have a unique title tag for every web page of the site. So again, we've typed in photo booth rental Dallas, Texas, and down here we can see, which one was it? It was photobooth.dfw.com. Let's see if they rank here. There you are, right there. So on the page, not number one, but being on the first page is important. One thing to remember, you can SEO as much as you want to on these keyword terms, but you are going to have some people that, or some sites that are going to be almost impossible to rank above. Those are sites like The Knot, Wedding Wire. They just have so much what we call SEO juice and longevity online that it's going to be tough to tackle those guys. Now, not to say that you can't, but it's going to be tough. And that's where the elbow grease and the time takes into consideration of when and how you're going to rank on the first page. So once again, the title tag, most important thing on your website that you need to update. So what are some bad title tags? Now, once again, just reiterate that your service and the city is probably your number one thing that you should do for your homepage on your website. Bad title tags. Don't have your title tag say home. So if your homepage says home, you're doing it wrong. If your homepage is just your business name, you're doing it wrong. And let me tell you why that is. probably nobody else out there has your business name. So it's easy to rank for your business name. So you're kind of wasting space. You're wasting an effort. You're wasting an opportunity on your homepage or any other page if you put just your business name. So I own Armani Entertainment. If I were to put just Armani Entertainment on my homepage, that wouldn't help me rank very well for photo booth rental, Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, or photo booth rental, Warrington, Pennsylvania, which is more valuable to me. Because if you already know Armani Entertainment, you're probably already a customer, and I'm not trying to reserve my site to a customer that has already, used my services. I want new people. And the people who don't know about you aren't going to type in Armani Entertainment. They're going to type in photo booth rental Willow Grove, photo booth rental Warminster, PA. Those are the types of keywords that are really going to bring you the new business. So once again, don't just use your business name as your title tag. It won't serve you very well. Now you can include it in your title tag, but later on. There is a strength in the order of words in your title tag. So you can actually have something that says photo booth rental Willow Grove, PA, Armani Entertainment to reiterate your brand. Your brand's still there, but you really wanted to get that keyword in the front of the title tag. There is more weight in the beginning of that title tag than there is at the end. So the most important keywords are going to be at the very beginning of a title tag, right? And duplicate titles, I mentioned that before. Every page in your website has to have a different title tag. Let me show you guys my website. Now, one thing to remember when looking at a site, it doesn't have to be pretty. Google does not care how pretty your website is. They don't. They care about the information that's on your site and how easy it is and how relevant it may be to a person's question, because they want to serve up answers. So if you look at my website, which is not very pretty, it's set up pretty darn well for SEO. I have a title tag, which you can scroll over any website right on the tab there, and you'll see exactly what I have. And that's photo booth rental and wedding DJ, Warrington, PA. And then you can't really see it because they stopped showing, but Armani Entertainment's at the very end. Let's do a quick search. We'll do photo booth rental, Warrington, PA, and see what happens. Okay, here's the ads, right? I can't do anything about that. My Google My Business shows up on the right-hand side because it's very strong, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. That's a bonus part. And here I am right there. I'm on the first page. And this is, if you take a look at this title tag, it says photo booth rental and wedding DJ, Warrington, PA. That is my homepage. Click on it, it goes straight to my homepage. Now, there's something else you can do, which will get back to the presentation. Let's go right here. And take a look at your location signals, right? So I often see websites that don't have a phone number on their page. Why wouldn't you have a phone number? Number one, people need to call you. Well, I just like getting emails. Well, some people like to call and even text for that matter. And more importantly, a phone number sends a local signal, a location signal to Google that helps you rank for those local keyword searches. You should also, on the footer of every page, have at least the city that you live in or the city that you operate in, and the phone number. Those send heavy location signals to Google, which are so important for ranking. If you don't have those on there, at least do that tonight. Get your phone number, get a city, get an address, whatever you want to put on there, but start sending those signals to Google. They're so important. Speaking of location, now I have location pages for almost every town I want to rank for, and it works like a charm. And each one of these pages has a different title tag, has different content. And that's important. Every page has to have a different title tag and unique content. And I'll go to my website and I'll show you what I mean. So there's another town not too far from here called Willow Grove that I used to live in. And actually, let's go to Doylestown. I just moved next to Doylestown. So I have a photo booth rental page for Doylestown, Pennsylvania. I have the title tag that says photo booth rental Doylestown, PA. I have some content that's unique to it. My phone number's there. I have some county names in there. And there's the city that I operate in, which is close to Doylestown. So all these are sending signals to Google saying, hey, this is a photo booth rental company. They're near Doylestown. It might be relevant. So let's find out if that's true. I hope it's still true because it was true yesterday. So photo booth rental, Doylestown, right? And again, we've got some ads at the very top. They're paying to play, and you'll know it says ad. Down in here, I've got my Google My Business, because again, I do really well with my Google My Business. There's somebody that's a little bit closer to Doylestown, so they're ranking better than me. Location doesn't matter in Google Maps. There's the Knot, there's Yelp, Buck's Photo Booth, Facebook, Camera Shy Not Me, and I'm down at the page. I'm still on the first page. Do the same thing with Warminster, PA. Another town that's close by that I optimized for. Right there. Now, these are pages that are location pages on my site. So there's the Doylestown page. Here's the Warminster page. And it's all unique content and different images. So it's a lot of work to create these location pages. So my thought is create one location page or contact page for just one city. Start out with one, and then make it a goal. Once a month, do another. Then next month, do another. Or if you can do it quicker, do it quicker. Whatever pace you can, but location pages are so important. And some people think, well, this doesn't look good on my site. The customers don't care how many location pages you have. Google loves it and will rank you for it. And that's going to bring in traffic and bring in business. Let's go back to, and I'll answer questions after this. I can go back to any part. So once again, unique title tag, unique content, have location pages, or at least a contact page with optimized title tag and content for that city you're trying to rank for. There's another example. This was me yesterday. I was sitting there, number 2 in the Google Maps, and these talk to each other. Google Maps and organic do work hand in hand. So the more you build up on both, the better and healthier your website rankings are going to be. All right, here's one. This next one is something that I ran an experiment on. This isn't really a widely used SEO tactic, but the terminologies are familiar. Everybody's heard of video and everybody's heard of blogging. So I ran an experiment where almost every event, I take some video or I take some pictures and they're sitting on my phone. And so I decided one day I'm going to make a quick little video about my photo booth rental, actually no, my wedding DJ services at one of the local venues, and see, can that video get ranked? And then at the same time, I'm going to write a blog, maybe 2 paragraphs, if that, about my experience at that wedding, and embed that video in the blog and link the 2 together. So let's see what happened. And first, let me show you the blog and the video, how simple it was. So if you go to my blog, you'll see I did one here for Durham Hill Farm. It's a really beautiful farm not too far from me, located in Pipersville, PA. So you can already see what I'm doing here. Durham Hill Farm, wedding DJ, Pipersville, PA. I'm trying to rank for wedding DJ, Pipersville, PA, or wedding DJ, Durham Hill Farm. In the blog, I have one picture. I've got my title tag says Durham Hill Farm, wedding DJ, Pipersville, PA. I'm hitting the mark on my title tag. My H1, which is your header, is right here. Wedding ceremony and reception at Durham Hill Farm. I'm just going through the natural progression. When you start filling out the fields for a blog, just be logical about it. It's all factual. Google wants to see this factual information. Same thing with my little paragraph. I'm just talking about Durham Hill Farm. I'm talking about wedding DJ. I'm talking about Pipersville. And then I embed my video, which I did the exact same thing. So I'd like to show you the video, but it's really loud. I'll put it in the the link here. I'll just go do it right now. Let's see. It's dumb. It's the dumbest little video, but it works. Here, I'll put this in here. You guys can take a look at it. And it's so simple to do. I'll pause. So it's just imagery, right? The link to my YouTube videos here in the chat. But it's just a lot of imagery. scrolling through it, you'll see there's Pied Piper, you know, doing his little bagpipes there. And then just more imagery from the event. And I'll pause it. But down in the description, I link back to my website. I put Durham Hill Farm in Pipersville, PA. My title is Durham Hill Farm Wedding DJ, Pipersville, PA. And I'm going to log back into my other account here because this account's crazy. And then we're going to do it. And I know I'm taking up too much time, but I think this is so valuable. This is a really cool thing, and you guys should start doing this. Definitely put up videos, definitely blog, and link the two together. Let me just make sure. Okay, so let's do it. Wedding DJ, Pipersville. Yay. Okay, how cool is this? I ranked #1 in the Google Maps. I ranked #1 for my website in the first 2 spots. And my video ranks #3. I own this farm in the search. So if there's a couple that's going to this farm, and you know the bride always gets the dress first, then next is the venue, and then what do we do with the venue? You got the flowers, okay, but we need a DJ. Well, let me see if there's any DJs out there that might have been at this farm before, because you know they know the venue, or maybe I want to see some video of people partying at the venue. Well, guess what? I've got my bases covered in Google Maps in the first, the second, and the third spot. I did the same thing for another country club called Talmore Country Club. If you take a look on my site, let me go back here 1 page. I did Talmore Country Club Wedding DJ. Join Melissa, same thing. I have a picture, the title tag says Talmore Country Club, and I've got a little bit about it. Talk about Ambler, Pennsylvania. I did my video. I optimized my video. The video is maybe 30 seconds long. So let's do Wedding DJ, Talmore Country Club. I'm gonna start doing this with my political stuff too. But there's Talmore, PA. Well, duh, that's the country club. But guess what? There's my video. So I've gotten a significant amount of traffic off of that. So I've beaten out the Wedding Wire. I've beaten out the Knot. And there's a couple other local DJs who have some pretty good footprint in our area, so they're going to rank really well. But I beat them all out with my video, so that's pretty cool. So there's a little extra juice and a little extra traffic I'm going to get off that. And going back to Durham Hill Farm, it's worked so well. I've got 4 weddings there this year, just to let you know. So it does work. It's 9:33. I know we're going to be running short on time, so that's blogging video. Again, here's the link to my video. There's a link to my blog. Utilize that information. Write a blog. Take some of those photos off of your phone. Create a short little video. Link the two together. Google My Business. Okay, this is where 70% of my leads come from, and my bookings for that matter. People are looking for something local. There's just this trust factor with Google My Business. I could do a whole different presentation on just Google My Business alone, but in short, claim your business, jump through whatever hoops you have to do. You've got to claim your Google My Business listing. If you don't claim it, it's not going to help you, because other businesses are going to be showing up in your area, and people are going to be going to their website. They're going to be calling their phone. They're going to be texting them. So the first thing you have to do is claim that, and then fill out all the relevant information. Make sure you've got your business hours. Make sure you got the right address. If you don't want people to show your address, you can show the areas that you serve. That's important to put in there. And then when you get this all set up, get reviews. Reviews are probably the biggest factor. Other than the name that you put in here, I put Armani Entertainment, DJ, and Photo Booth Rental. That does help. But my reviews are the biggest factor of why I'm ranking so well. So it's good to spread your reviews out on Facebook. Spread your reviews out on Yelp. Get those. If you're on a Thumbtack person, get the reviews on there. But Google's reviews are the most valuable reviews you're going to get, and they're going to help you rank the best on Google My Business, where most of the traffic is. There is a threshold. They don't talk about it, but once you get to five-star reviews, you get a little bit of a bump. Once you get to 10, you get a little bit more of a bump. Once you get to 15, to 20. And the frequency of reviews is also. So you want to organic reviews. Now, do not get fake reviews. Do not pay Fiverr for reviews. You want these to be organic and natural. You can get sniffed out. If you ruin your reputation with Google, they will take your Google My Business listing down. They will take away all those reviews and you have to start from scratch. So do grease into it. You have to do it. So that's my recommendation with Google My Business. Again, hopefully I'll be able to speak at the PBX and I can go into a different longer session about Google My Business, but it's so crucial to how many leads that I get. So let's take a look at your to-do list, right? Because I know we're running short on time. Number one, make sure your website is hooked up to Google Search Console. I apologize for that flub, and that should not have happened, but I assure you it's not that hard. Number two, define the keyword that you want to target when trying to rank your website. Again, it's not your business name. It's not homepage, right? It's your service plus your city and town. That should be your number one priority to rank for. And you're going to update your title tag on your page for that. You're going to include your phone number on every page, and hopefully you can include an address. One thing I wanted to mention here is that when selecting a phone number, a local area code is so much more valuable than an 800 number. Google does look at those two differently, and so does the consumer. The consumer may not have as much trust in 800 number if they're looking for somebody who's local. So do your best to use local phone numbers and not toll-free numbers. If you're nationwide, fine, but if you're a local business, use local numbers. Another location signal, make sure that you have a town or an address on your website. Google sees that, and that helps you rank. Create location pages. Again, it's about location. And start creating some videos, create a blog, link those two together, utilizing your content around your targeted keywords. And if you can, claim and optimize your Google My Business listing. Get 5 stars reviews and show some activity. Try to post a picture, try to do some posts at least once a month just to show that you're still alive. So I know we had a short amount of time here, a lot of information. There's so much more I could talk about, but I think we'll just stop there, and Rob or whomever will take it away. I don't know what you want me to do next, take questions or.
Yeah, first off, fantastic job there. And I personally learned a lot of valuable information. I'm sure everybody did there.
Yeah.
So once again, virtual round of applause for
guys.
Art's presentation there.
It was a long day. Sorry if it was kind of fast, and that Google console, that should have worked.
So a few people have taken advantage already of asking some questions on the chat.
Yes.
So I'll kind of go through. If anybody wants to ask some questions, just write that in there.
Yeah. And real quick, Rob, I did promise Dave Stevenson that I would utilize his website as a live example. So now I can't do everybody's stuff because I've only spent so many hours, but I don't mind stuff trickling, and I'll give some tips. But Dave Stevenson, who runs the Photo Booth Network Facebook page, has a website called iSmilePod, right? This is a guy who, like, I look up to in the photo booth industry. Like, he's the greatest guy who helps everybody out, and he'll pick up the phone anytime and help you find answers to questions. And he runs a really good business, right? So why shouldn't he have a lot of business? Let's take a look at his website. Dave, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw you through the trenches here. Your title tag, all right? You started off with iSmilePod photo booth. I think there's one other iSmilePod company. I think it's in the UK, and they're ranking above you, probably for that reason. And then you utilize Philadelphia's best photo booth. Google doesn't care if you think you're the best, right? They want to see it in the reviews. So my first tip to you, Dave, would be to change your title tag of your homepage. Now, you're going after Philadelphia, yet you live in Reading. That's going to be tough. That's another thing that I want to kind of stress to you guys, is that if you live 40, 50 miles away from a metropolis that has so much competition, and Reading isn't that small of a town, but it's far enough, it's going to be hard to rank for that. You're going to have to do a lot more. So what I recommend, Dave, is changing your title tag. Start local to photo booth rental Reading, PA, right? And then put iSmilePod photo booth after that. So that's your title tag suggestion. The next is, if we look over here, we've got contact us. Your contact us page is your location page. So let's take a look at that. It says contact us. That's the same thing as saying home. So this should say something similar to the photo booth rental Reading, but maybe take a different, maybe pick the county. Photo booth rental was that, I think, Lehigh Valley or Lehigh County. I'm not sure. I'll look it up, but maybe start by doing that. Change the title tag. Your phone number, that's good. Let's see, do you have an address on here? Do you have any mention of Reading on here? I don't see that. So get that location onto your page. So that's the two things that I would say, Dave. Again, your site is beautiful, but once again, Google doesn't care how beautiful site is. They want the information. All right. So I'll stop there. Now we'll go to the questions. So sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was actually fantastic there. I mean, that just reinforced some of the points that you were making through there. So,
and he also didn't. He also didn't have his Google My Business isn't showing up. So Dave, I think you and I need to jump on the phone and take care of that. There's 3 other competitors when I do photo booth rental Reading, PA. I think 2 of them are dentists. So we got to do some work.
So Sean had a question. So when you're talking about having organic reviews and real reviews,
Yes.
Sean's question is, do you send an email to your clients asking them to do a real review?
Yeah, I do. So there's a good way to do that. So in Google My Business, you can actually get a link, but don't just straight up ask for a review. You want to go into an email with, hey guys, I had a great event, and maybe take a picture from the photo booth. Say, I just really love this photo. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a fun photo. Whatever you want to do, just don't be just all business. Be personable, and then at the very end say, and by the way, Google reviews are really helping me find more business. If would you mind giving me a review? Here's the link to my reviews, and let me show you how easy that is real quick. So if we go to Google My Business, take this down over here, sign in. Well, that's my agency. I also work for an agency. I'm not plugging my agency. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Let's go. Let's see if this one helps me out. So don't ever, in your email, don't ever just say, hey, find my, Google My Business listing. There is actually a link you can get in Google My Business. It's right down here. Get more reviews, share review form. Okay, you can just minimize that. Go into Google and get this link, right? So you actually click that, and here's the link. You copy that and paste that in your email. So don't make people hunt. You want to make them as easy as possible for them to find that review form. And if I go in here and I click that link, put that link in there, it sends me to, is it sending me the right spot? Let's find out. It does. So right there, it sends me to the form. So now I can give myself a 5-star review, which do not give yourself reviews. You can get caught and sniffed out, and then your thing goes down. Put your information. They can even put a picture in there. So that's that answer to that question. Yes, ask for them. Make sure you're not asking a client that might give you a bad review. Just make sure that you're confident that it was a great experience and they were really happy.
Okay, the next question, I was going through these. By the way, I've had a number there. I'm scrolling through these messages. A number of them are asking if this will be available later. Yes, I know some of the previous ones we've done, I've been kind of slow on getting it out there, but I'll do my best to actually edit it and post it to YouTube tomorrow. And I'll be chatting with Art as well regarding speaking next year and all that. So hopefully we'll get that up this time sooner rather than later. The question that I had here, there was a specific question. It says, Art, this is from Jason of the U.S. Disc Jockey Association. Art, do you have to have location pages available for spider searches, or can they be standalone links that you submit directly to Google, or should they be in their own category, i.e. locations we serve as a menu site page link? I think you covered some of that, but maybe you can.
Yeah, so it really should be just natural, right? So Google wants to be, the spiders come down from the top, right? Like they're getting ready to creep down a drink, from that, what's a itsy bitsy spider, right? They come right down from the top. They read your title tag first, then they go into the navigation of your homepage, and they trickle down. So if you take a look at my site, you'll see I kind of address that. You want it to be in your natural navigation. Don't care what people think. I don't care if people think I have too many location pages. They're probably not even going to look at that. They're going to want to find out what my services are. I haven't tried hiding them yet, and I'm afraid to experiment with that, which means you can still have these pages, but hide them from the navigation so that you can see them. But I just don't want to take that risk. So my recommendation is create a location page for each different town and service, and have it. You can actually have it a little bit more organized. So again, I'm like the cobbler's child, right? I have the worst shoes because all my clients get all the extra work and I have no time to work on my own stuff. I would actually probably reorganize this into counties. And so areas we served would be Montgomery County. And then when you scroll over Montgomery County, it then cascades down or accordions down into the cities within Montgomery County. And then Delaware County cascades into the city. So it's a little bit more, not so, it's something I got to work on, right? So I'm not the best, but I try, and I really should organize this better, but that's how I would do it.
All right, so this one isn't specifically about this, but I think the first question from Jesse today was, I'd like to know if there'll be a speaker series. What we're basically planning on doing is at least once a month, possibly a little bit more, having these presentations so that we're together as a group. And that will proceed all the way to so now Photo Booth Expo and Mobile Entertainment Expo are now just a bit more than 8 months away. So we will, most people, originally we started with something called Pivot Expo in November, which was 3 days of 5 to 6 hours per day. And I got the idea that most people thought that was a little bit much. So we basically refined it to be, monthly or bi-monthly meetings, where we feature a speaker such as Art today, and that will continue. So it's let me just got 2 new messages. Well, thank you. Mark put in some nice comments there. The Pivot Expo is awesome. Thank you, Mark, for that, and the other compliments as well. I will try to. I've actually got the 3 days all sitting in one. I've downloaded I think 2 or 3 of the videos, but I'll try to get through and get some more of the content out there. The YouTube page it's Photo Booth Expo, but I will be posting the link once I'm not gonna be doing much editing. It'll just be basically this entire presentation put on there. But I will be putting the link so that people can watch it that didn't get a chance to listen today, or that wanted to view it again.
All right.
I don't know if there was something. I'm just going through these comments. Okay. Is there a mentorship available? I'm assuming you do some sort of mentorship.
Yeah, I can help some people out. It's not a problem. I mean, like I said, I can't take on thousands of people, but I can take on a handful. Anybody who's here, I'd be more than willing to, at the very minimum, at least give you like some suggestions for your title tag. If I can find some moments to just kind of walk you through the Google My Business or whatever, I'm happy to help, right? It may be a little bit delayed, but I'm more than happy to help you guys out. I mean, it's just, I want to give back.
And okay, well, I'm going to basically give everybody a minute or two to if there's any other questions you wanted addressed. If not, this is actually fantastic because we're going to be recording this. We want to keep it under an hour. So this is we're at the actually we're at the hour mark because we really started a few minutes beforehand. So I don't know if I'll record all of that or not. Definitely I can definitively say Art will be speaking at Photo Booth Expo. Love to have him there. So
yeah, it'll be a lot more polished too. I promise you that. I kind of jib-jabbed it together as fast as I could. There is another question here. What is the #1 mistake other than not claiming your business? What is the #1 mistake people make when doing SEO? The #1 mistake people make is not doing SEO, right? But there's a lot of people out there that go out and buy links. there's something called link farms that you can go to Fiverr and get all these great links back to your site, and links are so important. But the problem is a lot of these links sit on these things called servers that have really bad other links on it, which can affect your site and can get you blacklisted. And some of those things, such as pornography and gambling and malware, right? So do not pay for links off of Fiverr. You need to get them organically by partnering up with vendors, right? So whether it's getting on a preferred list at a wedding venue, whether it's getting linked from a newspaper because you volunteered at the YMCA or something like that, and then DJ'd or provided a photo booth. That's the type of link building you should get, but never buy them. That can kill your website. I saw it happen in 2014. It was considered a gray hat tactic, meaning that it's okay in Google's eyes to go out and get tons of links back to your site. Then like that, Google said, no, these are bad. And tons of websites across the world lost the rankings because they were in these link farms. So don't do it. That's my number one thing that I can say is a mistake, is link farms and buying links.
And another question here from Carrie. If you've registered on, oh, sorry, but this got scrolled up here. If you've registered on Google My Business, do you have to verify your website on the link you sent, or is that the same thing?
If you registered on Google My Business, do you have to verify your website on the link you sent, or is that the same thing? It's different. So verifying your website is something called Google Search Console, and Google My Business is Google My Business. Is two total separate entities. And that link to Google Search Console, I did put it in the chat earlier. So scroll through that chat. It's there, or just Google Search Console and you'll find it.
And Stephen was asking review funnels. Maybe if you can sort of cover that again or whatever there.
Review funnels, really? That's do you, and I guess I'm trying to understand the question. So review funnels, I mean, in terms of how you're getting people into to fill out a review, or are you talking about review filters?
Is it, he's saying, are review funnels a good idea or not? I guess we have to define that first.
Yeah. So if I were to look at the term review funnel, I think of the process of vetting somebody and reaching out to them and asking them for a review and then finally getting a review. But then there is something else that there's like platforms that you can filter reviews, where you can have a link on your site, or it's like a little box on your site, give us a review. And, you know, they start typing out whether they liked you or hated you. And depending upon how many stars they give you, you get a chance to respond to that review before they post it to Google. If it's a really good review, then you can click a button and it goes off to Google. So is that what you mean, the review filter? There's companies like Broadly is one, Bird Eye is another one. They can be helpful. And yes, I do recommend them because they help deter the negative reviews, because they give you a chance to address with the client before they actually post it to Google. So if you address that question, they may not post. So those do help.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, here. Please provide the link to get your GMB review link. I did not see.
Yeah, let me just show that one more time. So again, to get your review link, log into your own Google My Business, which I'm going to do right now. Make sure it's the right one. Nope, that's my agency one. Let's try that again. All right. Log into Google My Business. You pick your business. I have a few that I manage here. Bridal shop and some other. So I've logged into my Google My Business right here. If you scroll down, you'll see there's the reviews. And then under that is, where is that? Manage my reviews. I just had, it's gone. This is crazy. Am I missing something here, guys? Oh. Yeah, it's not here anymore.
It's on the left, Art. It's on the left.
Oh, they moved it. So you guys remember, I'm not lying. It was over here before. Thank you. So share review form. You're gonna look for this card. They move stuff around all the time. crazy Googlers. And then you have your link here, and it's going to be unique to yours. So you have to log into your Google My Business to get this link. You can share via email, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook. But yeah, so this part here, log into Google My Business, find this card, share a review form. There's your link. You're welcome.
Okay, well, I think that's a fantastic point. Unless somebody has something really quick in here to wrap things up, it will be an hour YouTube video that we'll be posting here. So once again, Art, thanks again for a fantastic presentation. I look forward to meeting you again there at Photo Booth Expo there in 8 months, and possibly I'm actually hoping better than 50-50 chance I'll be going to
NBA,
the DJ Expo in August.
Oh,
so,
great! I'll be there.
I basically had told everybody I'm going to start traveling and going to all the shows like I used to once I get my second vaccine, and that's going to be June the 22nd. So most likely, and the border is supposed to be reopening, I'm hearing sometime in July, hopefully. So I look forward to meeting everybody in August, probably at Wedding MBA in November, and then you know, I'm looking.
Yeah, and I'll be there too at the DJ Expo in Atlantic City. I'm actually going to help out Max design his booth. He needs some man help in there, so I'm going to go help him with that. But I'm not going to do the whole time. So if anybody here is going to be there and wants to pick my brain, you know, let me know. I'm going to be there the whole time. I'll be more than happy to sit down with the computer and take a look at some stuff and help you guys out. And then same thing at PBX. I'll be there the whole time at PBX, so we can do that then too. For anybody who's going to go to the Photo Booth Expo.
All right, and the other big announcement, I see Jordan St. Jacques is here. So last I was emailing with him, his company, Digiterra Agency, is making up the website for Mobile Entertainment Expo, which is the sister show to Photo Booth Expo. They'll be co-located. And I've been told that should be up no later than June the 25th, which I'm hoping, because we're actually passing out some flyers at yet another trade show, buy tickets with the link of the website. So the sooner we get it up, the better. But I'm looking forward to that. There'll be a fantastic website, and it'll join the Photo Booth Expo one that was made up by Bob Lindquist. That I have loved that website now for, I think it's about 3 years we've been using that particular platform. So I'm really looking.
Check. We're on track, Rob, because I mean, if we don't get it done on time, I don't want your wife giving me the evil eye. You know what I mean?
So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. If anybody hasn't joined either of there's now two for the Photo Booth people. We've got almost 8,000 subscribers now at the Photo Booth Expo group, and 600 something. We just started it a couple months ago. 600 something subscribers at the Mobile Entertainment Expo website, all right, at Google Facebook page, I should say. So if anybody hasn't joined either of those, make sure you do. And then that's where we basically post all the latest show information, you know, the meetings like this that we're having. And of course, you know, join the, most of you are here because you probably either got the email from our mailing list, or the or you've bought tickets to the show already, so everybody gets emailed on that, or you're on the Facebook page. So make sure you join all of that. Like I said, we'll be at least once a month, if not more. I will be having these get-togethers. And on that note, I think we are going to end this today, and I look forward to seeing everybody again next month. And once again, thanks, Art. Big round of applause.
Thank you. I'm going to send you that deck in case anybody wants it.
All right, and everybody have a fantastic night, and I will shut this off in just a few seconds. Good night, everybody.
Night.